Hello, everybody. Welcome to First Time Donor. This is the charity gaming podcast where we talk all about all the wonderful ways that you can do good in the world using what you have right now. I almost forgot our little intro riff there. It's been so long.
It has been a bit.
It's been a couple months. We've been a little busy doing you know doing the Zeldathon thing. So that's kind of what we're here to talk about today. As always, I'm joined by Monica, my wonderful co-host here.
Hey, friends. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. If you're catching the recording, thanks for listening to the recording. And we have two fantastic, amazing guests I'm very excited to welcome. Thank you, MaeveDX, Maeve, and Jamie, Video James, for joining us for the first time on the podcast.
Howdy.
Hey, why don't you both introduce yourselves and let people know where they can find you when you're streaming? Maeve, I know you've been doing some guitar streams. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then Jamie, you're back with some more Majora's Mask and everything.
Yeah, I bought a guitar. That was fun. Hi, I'm Maeve. I'm at MaeveDX on Twitter and MaeveDX on Twitch and YouTube. I am a Zeldathon team member, primarily a musician. I play the violin and some other instruments. That's kind of what I mainly do around Zeldathon.
Word.
Hi, I'm Vidya James. Vidya_James is my Twitter. You'll find me on Twitch. It's just Vidya, Vidya. You can call me James, Jamie. It doesn't matter. Anything's good. And yeah, I've been with Zeldathon for 7 years now.
Oh my gosh.
It's been so long. Yeah. Never leaving.
Well, awesome.
7 years of pure joy.
For sure.
Thank you both for joining us. So for this episode, we wanted to talk a bit about hubs and the hub format because as everyone who has watched the marathon knows, this is completely different than any of our pre-existing formats. We strayed away from just strictly online as we had before with SideQuest, and obviously it still wasn't safe to have 80 to 100 of our team members all in one place and people from different countries. So we moved to the online hub format. So if you're wondering what is a hub, it is pretty much a group of a bunch of us who are in an area that was close together. So just not traveling too far. And then just putting on little different hubs and regions and having parts of the marathon broadcast from there. So both Maeve and Jamie ended up being hosts for hubs. So we're going to be asking them a couple of questions about that. And if you have questions too, feel free to ask and we'll hopefully answer and help you figure out anything you're curious about.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to take it away and ask you a first question that I have. Will you let us know a little bit? Oh, not that one. My bad. I need to keep track of where I am in reading my list. Okay. It's like AJ said, it's been a while.
It's been a minute.
We're getting back into it. So since getting involved in charity streams, has there been anything that surprised you over the years?
What hasn't surprised me at this point? There's been so many things can and will go wrong at any given point, and you just have to roll with the punches. You just have to deal with it. It's every marathon. There's going to be some problems, whether it be in person, online, or hubs. Like it doesn't matter. There's always going to be challenges you have to overcome, including the lead up. Like, yeah, and honestly, I guess the amount of work that goes into planning it, definitely a lot more than you might imagine from the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
For sure. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of playing behind the scenes. For me, I think I'm always just surprised by the creativity people have. There's like so like, the marathons have changed a lot over the years, like, adding music segments, adding different types of games, like, doing like Twitch plays Breath of the Wild. That was a really fun creative thing that happened.
Fantastic segment.
It was very fun. And then like, I know one example we had from the last marathon was we were doing like a Breath of the Wild medley, and then like Doug our lovely drum ultima, Doug Perry, marimba vibraphone player on our team, he throughout the random suggestions, like, what if we just like made this like a visual novel and like Link is like traveling between these different areas and we like narrate it and he has to like choose between the 3 like romantic options and we're like, what? That's crazy. We love it. And just running with that. So I just love the creativity. The creativity that everyone has always blows me away every marathon.
Agreed. And I think we definitely did get to see that again with hubs and just being back together, some of us, even though Jamie and I were at the very small but mighty Elden Volcano hub. There was only 3 of us.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, it was great to just hang out with friends again and then watch the marathon together too. And then just watch the marathon and just comment and hang out with everyone in chat. It was a great time. And I think all of us have a lot of great memories from this one.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for hosting the hubs that both of you did, how did you come to host a hub? Did you volunteer? Were you asked, or did it happen a little more serendipitously? Why don't we hear from Maeve first, if you're happy to answer first?
Yeah, for sure. So I volunteered to host a hub, not at where I am currently from because I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. But my family had a vacation home that is usually unused during the winter, and so I figured, like, well, we have this like place that's pretty much unused. No one's gonna be there. That seems like a good place for a Zeldathon, and so I asked my family first, and then talked to the directors and offered it up as a hub, and it worked out really well. So
nice.
Awesome.
Surprise your family, just serendipitously throw Zeldathon surprise.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the thing is, a lot of like my sisters and my family will have like friends over there every now and then. So that's basically how I viewed it. It's like, I'm having a bunch of friends over for a week.
Right.
We just also happen to be live streaming.
Yeah. Talk about creativity too. That was a smart play there.
Yeah, for sure. It worked out very well. And we ended up being like the main hub where like the directors were, we had all the musicians, and in order to accommodate all the musicians, we actually ended up like having a separate hub, which was like a rental home that we had a couple blocks away, and then that was like the music hub, which was a Lumpy Pumpkin. And so we ended up kind of traveling between the two, but it was kind of like, one hub. So
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
yeah, no, it was a quick walk, so it wasn't too far away.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of had one of the same deals going on in the Farron Woods hub. Almost doxed us there. Let's use we came up with the code names for a reason. But like the original intention was to have 2 hubs because we were like, oh, we're not too sure if we can fit everyone in the one house, and the other one was kind of like a 35-40 minute drive away, and we were like, oh, that's a bit of a ways away, but we can manage it. And then we all just stayed in the same house anyways because we were like, wait, we do have room.
Yeah, what ended up happening is I think we had originally had around like 20 to 25 people planning to come between the Lumpy Pumpkin and Skyloft, and then as Omicron picked up, there were a good chunk of people who decided to drop out for safety reasons, which is very valid. So we ended up having a lot more space than we needed, but honestly, that is better than having not enough space. So
True. All right. Well, obviously, when it comes to... Oh, wait a minute. Jamie, did you talk about yours?
No,
Nope,
Jamie.
not yet.
My bad. I'm cutting you off.
I suppose serendipitously is a light way of putting the story behind the Forbidden Hub.
Yeah.
So the original plan was to have the Elden Volcano Hub at ZQ Lena's house, who I'm sure a lot of people know through Zeldathon. She's been going to Zeldathons longer than I have. She's a true OG, if you want to talk about veteran status. But
True.
there were unfortunate circumstances that in the last day, it was literally Christmas Day, where we realized we weren't going to be able to host the hub at Lena's place.
Right.
Which, I won't get into it, but essentially what had happened was just like, well, the only other place that we could possibly do this is my apartment, which is not the size of Lena's house at all in any way. So we had to drastically reduce the attendee number. So it was literally just me, Monika, and Rom Scout, and that was it. It was us 3. but we had 3 segments that we had to run.
Right.
So we basically on as we refer to it in Canada, Boxing Day, the day after Christmas.
Right.
Monica, Ram, and I just spent all evening just transforming my apartment into this kind of studio setup that we were able to make work. And it took some fine tuning, but
Sure.
in the end, it
was
I think
wild.
it really came together nicely. And at the end of the day, it's like you mentioned, when you're.
Oh, I
Sorry.
was gonna say, like, I'm so surprised. Like, it came together so well. Sorry, go on.
Well, yeah. What was mentioned was when you're not doing the segment, you're just sitting there with your friends watching Zeldathon go on at other hubs, and the next best thing to being at a Zeldathon with all your friends is hanging out with your friends and watching it. So that was really nice. Very nice experience.
Yeah.
For sure. We had a similar thing over at our hub. Well, we took a little bit to get our Apple TV working because it was not cooperating, but then we managed to get working, and just having like the stream always on, like in the sort of chill area, was very nice.
Yeah, I found that just because it happened that way, I didn't miss out on a ton of memes and random stuff happening. Whereas normally when we're in person at the marathons, I find like I'll go to bed or leave and I'll come back and like there's some new wild meme happening. But I mean, hey, the Hartford Whalers was a meme that I was all about. That was such a fun one.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That was something else.
Yeah, it was something for sure. I was getting there was like a watch party a couple of nights ago for like the one day of the year when the Carolina whatevers changed their name back to the Hartford Whalers, and I had a friend text me like, you should watch this, and I'm like, what? Like, why am I watching a hockey game?
Yeah, throwback night.
It's continued to be a thing now too, because for anyone who's part of the community and didn't know, Jamie hosted a watch along for the game that happened last night because they were wearing the Whalers jerseys again. But so reminder, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening always.
We do some very fun community events.
We do.
No, but I feel like, at the big, like, in-person marathons with everybody in one place, you don't really hang out in the stream room a lot. People are often like chill room, often like a doing a bunch of other things. And so, I feel like you kind of don't get to watch as much of the stream as that. So that was really nice to get to actually like kind of stay tuned in more.
That sounds like a pretty universal experience that I've heard like across most hubs. How many hubs did we have in total, by the way? It was like not 9, was it?
No, it was a little. So it was Eldon, Skyloft, Far On Woods. There was the mining facility.
Yeah.
There was the
Minecraft facility.
Minecraft facility.
Yeah, my facility. Ancient Cistern, which was just Soren Chris. But
what was the
there was also
Taylor's?
Oh, what were they even called?
Oh my gosh, no. I don't remember.
Well, I remember Lake Floria was the EU one. So yeah.
Well, anyway, with that being said,
that many.
Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus. Was like most people, from a team standpoint, and obviously, our priority is making this more approachable from a viewer standpoint. But like, an unintended side effect of this that I tend to hear a lot is like, the team members had like a much easier time just kind of keeping up with the marathon. Like there were points where we were like, at very much in a Zeldathon environment. There were a good handful of us in this house, and we're like, all right, yeah, like we are here for Zeldathon, like we traveled to be here for Zeldathon, but there's like we're not doing anything right now. Like our next run is in 29 hours, so in that time we would just kind of like hang out and watch Zeldathon, right? Because what else is there to do? And it was nice, it was nice to be able to kind of just like relax a little bit. Not that I don't relax it's all the time, but like knowing that like I'm not gonna like someone's not gonna come up to me and be like, oh hey, I like double booked myself for a shift by accident, can you do 6 hours of tech? I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
fine.
So I think over at Skyloft we had like a slightly different experience in that sense, given we were like the main hub, we were running the stream, and so whenever like there were last minute changes, we were usually the ones taking up stuff.
Sure.
And so I think like I think at most there was like one like 16-hour period like between when we were doing segments. So we were kind of running around figuring out who's going to be running tech. like at what times. Like we were literally like sitting in chill room, like planning out, okay, it's like, okay, who is in this house? Who can run tech? You have to do a game tomorrow, so you're not running tech at 4 a.m. And it's like, kind of planning everything out. And that felt like Zeldathon to me, just like, trying to get the schedule going. Me oversleeping and MC very nicely letting me sleep because I had been up unexpectedly late playing Wind Waker.
Right.
Lots of fun stuff. But overall, it was very Zeldathon. Very Zeldathon.
And this leads me on to my next question so well, which someone in chat was curious about as well. So if obviously we're all hoping that the summer will be a safer time and we can return to a regular in-person marathon with everyone. But in the event that it's still not safe to do so, would both of you be willing to be the host of a hub again?
This is non-committal, by the way.
Yeah, no, just your opinion.
This is off the record.
Would people want to help me pay for a larger apartment? Because if so, sure.
I was gonna say, after hearing your story, I'm not sure you would be, which is perfectly fair.
I think going forward, if we were to return to the hub format, I would really, hope that we would be able to do what was originally planned and host at Lena's, which I think is kind of, I think would be a much more preferred option. And
of course.
We're hoping that we'll go back to in-person marathons, but I would really like to experience what that hub was supposed to be. So
not the emergency last minute
volcano
where our sheet was literally our background was gaffed to the wall.
I love that.
Oh, you love to see it.
Monika did such a good job hanging that up. That was the most amount of tape I've ever seen for a job before.
Jiggy would have been crying at how much gaff was being used.
Well, we didn't really have a ton of cables and wires in the way, so we knew we weren't going to trip over anything, and we didn't have anything else to hang the backdrop. I'm like, oh my god, how is this gonna happen? So it was MacGyvered.
There was a lot of smoke and mirrors this marathon for sure. Like even like it's wonderful that it came together as well as it did, because like looking at it on camera, it's like, wow, this looks great. But like, I don't know if other hubs had this thing too, but man, if you just took like 2 steps back from that camera angle, oh my god.
We took lots of pictures of setup. You could probably find them on the Twitter at Zeldathon or hashtag Zeldathon, whatever we posted them under. And like, if I think in our hub we had basically like a square room, and we had like the stream couch, and like I think like 3 feet to the right of it was a staircase, just like going straight down. We were trying to figure out like how to set up challenge cam. It's like, if we put it here, someone might fall down the stairs.
Angle challenge cam into the basement.
Yeah, pretty much. It was. We actually had like, and then another hallway visible, and there was like a washing machine there. We kept making jokes about like, well, if someone just like came out of the laundry machine for a bit, and we vetoed that. But it was very interesting. In terms on my end of hosting again, I would be very happy to. It would be a little more logistics to planning with my family, because more people are occupying the location during the summer months, but I'm sure I could find a week to kick them out. Airbnb getting a rental place might be a little harder though, because during the summer months it tends to be busier. But so I'd definitely be down. I liked the comfort of still being in my own house, and also having my friends over, so I enjoyed it.
I mean, I did like being able to escape to my bedroom whenever I wanted, but
literally, well, my bedroom was like 15 feet away from the stream. It got very loud occasionally. But I did my best.
That's Zeldathon, man.
For sure.
So my next question was, if you were hosting a hub again, Jamie already answered this by just saying like, we'd love to have the original Elden Volcano happen as intended. But so I guess this one's more for you, Maeve. If you were hosting a hub again, were there any changes you'd want to make to your setup, or anything that you'd want to do differently now that you've experienced hosting one?
I really liked our setup. I thought we did very well in terms of having like, a music location for all the musicians to like have a dedicated space. That was something we really loved. I think the issue we ran into is we tried to use the same area as Jiggy's beautiful set. which got used once, and then we were like, we need more room. Like, so we just kind of cleared it all out.
Cannibalize the set.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, I feel like it went really well. The only thing, the one issue we ran into is there was actually like a blizzard the day after the day we finished streaming. That was set to like, hit at around like 3 a.m.
I forgot.
So like,
geez.
8 hours after we stopped streaming Zeldathon. So everyone we basically tore down the set, got it into the U-Haul, and everybody got out. And so there was a lot of cleanup to do. That normally they all would have helped out. I know that it is all a very nice group of people, but they had the circumstances meant they had to leave, and the cleaning was sort of a big thing. So I feel like that would definitely be. There won't be any blizzards in the summer, so
true.
You say that, but have you been to Canada?
You know what? I haven't been to Canada, and unless my house suddenly appears in Canada in the next 6 months, then I don't think I'll have to worry.
That can be arranged.
Please no. Yeah, no, I can't. I honestly can't say I would change much. I think. I think the one thing is that actually that our chill room was sort of like downstairs, and like I said, there's a stairway like right in the stream room, so the sound carried a lot.
Sure.
That was a big issue, so I feel like we might want to, like, I don't know, adjust our hangout protocol or our hangout zone to better deal with that.
That's reasonable, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it though.
I think I've made it through my questions, but I think AJ has some as well.
Right.
I'll let you jump in. We'll
sure.
tag team.
Well, we kind of already touched on one, so I'm gonna skip that one. Man, yeah. So like we kind of talked about this a little bit, but like, was there anything that you at like your hub noticed about another hub that you were like, that's really cool, and should we do this again? Or maybe you did do it while you were there. You would steal that idea. I guess just like what's like something creative you saw from another hub that you were like, that's cool. Next time I would steal that. I would take that.
Certainly a green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, watching which was it, mining facility? Yeah, with like, that was honestly so good. That definitely needs to be used more. I would love to implement that.
That was great.
All of us saw that and we're like, that is the coolest. Oh my god.
We all need green screens.
I got so excited for segments at the mining facility from that point on.
It's like you just knew Reba was gonna appear at some point on the wall. For those who don't know, during Zeldathon, another big meme was Reba McEntire.
Let's go.
Just the person.
Yep. Would just show up sometimes.
Yeah, she's around.
Doesn't take much to make us laugh sometimes. Sometimes it's just you just say the name of a person or thing, and it's just, it's the thing.
Reba,
wow.
Whalers.
Whalers. Let's go with it.
What if Reba was on the Whalers? Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh man.
I'm trying to think of other things that I saw at other hubs. I'm sure there's probably tons of things that I would forget, but I
think I also liked at my facility they sort of had like, a sort of big couch, and they could fit a lot of people on that. That was sort of like a kind of arc-shaped couch, and that worked really well. I mean, that's limited to what furniture you have in your home, obviously, but that honestly, I thought that was a very nice setup.
And steal using the thermometers for me. Oh my
goodness gracious.
No.
most popular clip of the marathon.
Most popular clip of like our channel ever. I can't believe that.
We had one of those temperature reading things, but I never thought to use it. But it just kind of became a thing at the Skyloft hub. So man,
we started. It was kind of just hanging around Tech Desk, and we would remember to use it every now and then, and get concerned when it came up at like 99.9, but then do it a few more times and it was fine. Right. It was just like an off reading. And then also using it for unspeakable purposes. Parody.
Unspeakable.
Which we're definitely not allowed to talk about.
Nope.
Yeah, I remember seeing that happen and then that up next would be Rom Scout and I playing the Oracle randomizers together, and like, how are we going to follow up that in terms of energy?
Right.
But then, it happened. Actually, that's one thing that our hub had at Elden Volcano, and I want to bring that back again, was just playing the soundboard through the controller that you're using to play the game.
It is a mistake to give me any amount of creative control over the stream because I will find the line as fast as I can.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I want to bring back that again too from the Elden Volcano Hub. Just people were donating with images. They would send in their donation comment for Jamie to add into the stream. So yeah, he would vet them and make sure it's appropriate.
Make sure the link they add isn't a virus.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was like just looking at an Imgur.
Right.
Just,
another thing I actually just remembered was from Ancient Sister and Taylor, the hub. Taylor was that pets. I don't have any pets at the location, but it would be very nice to have more pets. It added a lot of energy, honestly. Chat loved it.
Yeah.
Just hanging out with a dog.
Dog cam was a very good one for sure. I think I'm thinking of what was it that I saw? It was during Jam Train. Jam Train for those uninitiated is when we from the evening of New Year's Eve into New Year's, we just kind of get all our musicians in one place and they play music. Maeve was a part of that actually, and I think this is a very general concept because it's more so just about creative use of space.
I think I know what you're gonna talk about.
You did
Is it
this
the window?
sitcom intro. It was so funny. There was this window
we had this
appeared to be. Yeah, I'll let you explain.
Yeah, we had this stupid window, and there was a rental place, so we had this weird window in there's big living room that was sort of had a big ceiling, and then in the hallway upstairs there was just inexplicably a window looking over that room. And so we ended up doing this sitcom style intro where we would get Jackson would announce us, Jackson Prody, our wonderful piano player at Zeldathon, and we would open the thing and wave and then come down. I think we've always had very fun ways to intro Jam Train. I think that's kind of been a running thing. I want to say the first marathon I was at a response, we did Jim Tran, where it was just Bassoonify. It was like, hi, I'm Jim Tran. What? You thought you were watching Jam Train? Oh, that must have been a typo. Anyway, I'm gonna play bassoon for 2 hours. And then you play bassoon, but then we all came in afterwards. And there's one where we kind of introed with everybody, everyone, the ball pit choir, all the other team members dancing in.
Wasn't there one where you handed your instruments off to other people, so you're playing the intro, but everyone's on the wrong instrument? We
got this idea from there's some YouTube clip of a Philharmonic Orchestra swapped their instruments and playing the Space Odyssey theme, and so we were well, let's do that, and it was something.
Did not know that's where that came from. That's really funny.
Yeah, it's a very good clip. It's the also Spock Zarathustra, and one that we can never bring back now. It didn't age well in the pandemic, but the bits are a very important part of Jam Train, always.
It's one of those things where often I'll get ideas for the marathon, just randomly looking at the internet, things on the internet, and be this is really funny. I'm gonna copy this and do it at Zeldathon.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know what? That's fine. That's how
you guys
memes are
don't
born.
realize it, but so many of the jokes that I've come up with over the years are just shamelessly stolen from other sources. But I give their own Zeldathon flair.
Yeah, pretty much. I tend to just repeat Tumblr memes on stream because nobody goes on Tumblr anymore, so no one knows I'm stealing memes from Tumblr.
True. Don't give away your secrets for free.
No, creative use of space is definitely a really useful thing, which unfortunately I think we'll lose a little bit of when we go back to full in person, but we still have we did set building at the last marathon, so maybe that'll come back and we'll get to expand on that.
This is true. Yeah, I'm not against a return to a little more serious form. I think spontaneous memes and stuff will happen, and I love that.
Right. These are all things that are just core to Zeldathon.
Yeah. I think they just come out in other ways. Sometimes they come out because a mining facility has a green screen, and let's just put things on the green screen. Or Minish Cap has a frame around the game because we're playing the Game Boy player for the GameCube. Let's make our own frames.
Oh yeah, creative use of OBS is something that, or like broadcast software, is something I think really took off during the remote events.
I loved it.
I remember there was like one segment our friend Freya, who's a VTuber, had where she would just change the background to like be in like a Taco Bell or something.
It was it was like time travel was the gimmick, right? So it was like, for every X amount of dollars we raise, we'll jump 10 years forward in time. And like
pretty much.
She was streaming from like a McDonald's play pit one year and like a Blockbuster video one year. That was fantastic. Like
I think that's definitely something we're going to carry with us to the in-person marathons.
I hope somehow.
Creative use of stream layout.
some way.
Yeah, I love that, and I feel like it gives a lot of other people an opportunity to be creative too. Because I'm a creative person, but I definitely don't know my way around OBS to the extent that Jamie does. So it was just awesome to see Jamie have fun and just go nuts with adding cursed things in.
Well, it's one of those things where when you're at the in-person marathon, there's like an assigned person on the tech desk at all times. There's always somebody at the computer. You can never go up and just like mess with the layout. And if you do, it's like, oh, don't touch that. Don't you touch that.
You gotta like coordinate with the tech person.
Right.
But when it's my PC, when it's my stream, my rules, baby.
That really seems to be the mantra of most hubs.
Pretty much, yeah.
My stream,
Your
my
hub,
rules.
your rules.
Yep, yeah. I'm okay with that.
No, but circling back to like, in-person marathons, I think while there were a lot of good things about the hubs, I think going back fully in person is definitely the goal.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, a lot of people who are on the team now weren't around during the house marathons era.
Mm-hmm.
I never went to a house Zeldathon. I did for a different charity event way back in the day. And it's a lot to have a bunch of people all in somebody's home and dealing with the complications that arise from that. So
were any of you guys around for Zeldathon Classic?
I was.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't even watch it. This predates me.
I wanted to ask you now, Jamie, how similar was hubs to that? Did it feel similar?
Right.
No. Well, I mean, I only have the experience of 3 people at my hub, right? So maybe it might have been closer to Skyloft, but I think what I got out of that was MC basically. So Zeldathon Classic was a marathon we hosted a few years ago, where MC wanted to do like a throwback sort of idea to old marathons. And one of the ideas he said we need to bring back is let's host the marathon at my house, which at the time MC still lived at the house that he used to host Zeldathons at. It's called we called it Hat House,
right?
Which unfortunately we no longer have, but. One thing I opted to do specifically for that was I said, I'm not sleeping in the attic. I'm not getting this experience because everyone talked about, you would have the attic with like 30 people sleeping in the attic on the floor and you'd have to carefully tiptoe around bodies if you have to wake up somebody for their run. No, I opted for a hotel. So thankfully I didn't get to experience that. But overall, it was pretty fun because when you weren't in the stream room, you were just with everybody else watching the stream. Like there's not much else to do, so you might as well just watch Zeldathon with your buds.
Right. I love
that and going to Wawa.
Oh man,
it's Sheets. It's Sheets where we're from.
It's called
normally Zeldathon is in Sheets country, not for this one.
Yeah, I think that was something that I would agree with. Like it definitely, you were describing the like tiptoeing over sleeping people to get things done, and I definitely felt that. We kind of like at the hub I was at Farron Woods, we had there was like a guest bedroom that they just kind of like cleared out, and we put like air mattresses in there and stuff for folks to sleep in. We like played a little bit of Tetris with those air mattresses, and they fit, which was fantastic. But that also meant like, oh, my suitcase is on the other side of the room and it has the microphone in it that we need or something. So I need to go like not step on Luke and walk around TB and make sure like it was, oh my gosh. It was something else for sure. But anyway, with that being said, I've got one more question here for us. It's just kind of a fun one here. just like tell us a story. Tell us something that happened behind the scenes at your hub that, like, you know, didn't really make it on stream, but was something that was like fun or interesting, or in general just a good time or an interesting time.
Oh, I'm trying to think through things that happened now. I remember we had a fun one that we actually referenced like throughout the week, was like early in setup day, MC picking up the phone, which was Jiggy calling, and just going, "Hello, 7," and then like pause and then hang up. And so for a long time, throughout the days, we would just like respond to people just like with just 7 and then walk away, which was a very fun kind of internal meme. I don't think it made it to the stream though.
I love
Did
that.
you ever learn 7 whats?
I no, right. I don't even know. I don't think
so.
MC ever told us.
Oh my gosh.
I think it might have been like one of them was at Walmart and getting like pizzas, frozen pizzas or something.
Word.
They wanted to get 7. Like, I don't know.
I don't know if we really had anything really big happen that was like hidden from the stream.
Sure.
Not really sure. Monika, you have anything?
Yeah, I do. And then it's fun too, because then it gives something people to look forward to, because we recorded B-roll for it. But
yes, B-roll.
Oh yes.
So we recorded some Beeb roll because it
Did you get Tim Beebs?
We sure did.
No!
Yeah, we're all in Canada, so we had access to Tim Beebs. So I picked up a box just for a dumb idea, and I figured we would do Jamie and I did a live taste test of the Tim Beebs, and we gave our reviews. So if you're unfamiliar, in Canada we have Tim Hortons. It's a place where, like, a coffee donut shop. We have what Americans call donut holes, but we call them Timbits. And then they have a sponsor partnership with Justin Bieber, so he created his own Timbit flavors, and they call them Tim Biebs. Yeah, so we recorded some B-roll of that.
Some B-roll.
Yeah, there will be B-roll that will eventually make it out, and you get to see our dumb review of it.
Oh, I forgot about B-roll. That's so. Go ahead.
Oh no, the flavors of the Tim Biebs are very questionable.
Oh,
it's like birthday cake waffle.
Birthday cake waffle,
sourdough chocolate chip or something like that.
Yeah, sour cream chocolate chip.
Sour cream chocolate chip, and then what is it? White chocolate.
White chocolate. No, chocolate white fudge.
Yeah.
Chocolate white fudge. Yeah.
I tried them because I managed to get a trip. I took a trip to Canada in the last few months, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, I liked the flavors. They're pretty. I liked the sour cream one because, like, you know, like sour cream frosting. You know, like.
Huh.
This memory, does make me wonder how many hubs did get B-roll, because I know Grant and Luke are both now, 2 other team members are saying that their hubs didn't do a great job of getting B-roll, and I think a lot of us will realize that, man, without Tylenos at a hub, we all didn't do a great job of getting B-roll.
Yeah. So for those who might not know, B-roll is basically we would have like a camera, which was ostensibly a highlight camera to get different angles on things.
Yeah.
But then we would just take it into the chill room in different parts of the marathon and just record dumb little bits that would eventually get like compiled into a YouTube video and go on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We had the highlight cam over at Skyloft.
Oh,
so
really?
I did. Yeah. So for a while, I think it was just me using it. I would just like pick it up randomly and go downstairs and like, you know, point it at someone who wasn't expecting it and bother them for 5 minutes. Yeah. And then finally, I think actually we added to the goal wheel record B-roll and to try and get a little bit more. So
try and really push that envelope.
I definitely, you know, we had a taco night once, and we did a lot of cooking. That was a fun part actually of the hubs as well. But like, you know, just going down with the highlight kit was like taco. It was Tuesday also. We didn't plan that. It was just happened to be Taco Tuesday. I was like, Taco Tuesday, who's ready? And just running around the room like filming taco ingredients and people making their tacos. So maybe that'll make it into the YouTube.
Nice. I like seeing all the different hubs, like everyone cooking together, and seeing all that stuff on Twitter and just what was going on at other hubs. Because ours was small. It was just the 3 of us. So aside from that, none of us would have been recording B-roll.
Yeah, definitely not.
Oh man, I'm trying to think now. This is my question. I'm still like juggling stuff around here. We at our hub had a lot of stuff happen like behind the scenes that was very like, I don't know. It just like it felt like a normal Zeldathon at ours, at least in that sense. Cause we'd be doing something, and a lot of people got back into RuneScape at our hub. Just because we decided to, and we were like, yeah, you know what, let's sink our entire lives into this game when we are here and have nothing else to do.
Luke, our broadcast manager in chat, says we left a JPEG of Teep up on the screen for 7 hours.
Did do so. Like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna tell that story instead. Screw RuneScape. We had like the ability for people to like call in, if you will, not like just random viewers, although we've done that before. We don't talk about that. We just like other team members, if we were like, hey, especially people who couldn't make it and we're like doing stuff from home, we were like, yeah, like if you want to call in and hang out or whatever, do some like remote what's that thing called, do some remote like donation reading or etc. Just hang out, like you can do that. And that was pretty cool, and I'm glad that we got to do that. People got to hang out for a while. But we, during a run that happened at our hub at Farron Woods, during the Phantom Hourglass run, my run actually, Zach Teep, the infamous Zach Teep, he's a little troublemaker sometimes, and he was like, oh, like I'll do donation reading for you guys. And we were like, oh, Zach was supposed to come to this hub. Zach wasn't able to make it very last minute. It was unfortunate. We were like, yeah, like let's totally let Zach do donation reading. That would be awesome. And right, he joined the call. Just he like kind of unannounced. We were like setting things up beforehand. We were getting ready for the stream. We hadn't really checked like audio or anything, and just out of nowhere, Zach Teep's booming voice echoes throughout the house.
The voice of God.
The voice of God. But what we realized was, and we didn't realize this until during the segment, was when somebody left like the call, the way that like the thing, I don't even know what we used. I think it was like Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
The way that worked was like it just kept the last still of that person when they left on the screen. And we were
so
like,
he was just there.
Oh, it was vMix. It was vMix call, which for some reason does that. So we just kind of like, we were all just sort of doing our thing. It was like, as I'm sure happened with most hubs, when there's a segment going on, it's kind of like most, if not all hands on deck. There's stuff going on. And we just don't really bother. We just kind of leave it up, and we quickly realized that we just kind of leave like a JPEG of Zach Teep on this monitor. Like the stream can't see it, but like just this big monitor that we basically dedicated to Zach Teep. Which as I'm being told by Grant, another member of the team who was at Farron Woods, that was a result of using NDI to get a video feed out of Zach to Couch. So it was only Couch seeing it, but it was a wild time. At one point, Tylenos hopped on like several hours later, and it like jump scared us. We'd gotten so used to that being there.
I only had that happen one time, and it was on camera. It was doing, I forget which run it was, but Romscout and I were the only two who could hear it, because Jamie didn't have the same audio, but Jackson hopped in.
Yes,
I started serenading me with Celine Dion as I was playing the game, and no one in chat could hear it. No one else could hear any of the audio. So I was losing it. I was in shambles, and like no one knew why at first. So that was an experience. I love Jackson. I miss him so much. That was great.
What a time. What a time.
So the behind the scenes of that, because I was in the room next to Jackson when this happened, was we were hanging out in chill room and like, watching, and we were like on Discord, and Jackson's like, wait, why is JB just like in a call? Like during his run or whatever. And he was just like, can like we be heard on stream if we just like hop in here? And so like we're sitting there, he kind of looks to Campy, one of our directors, for approval, who nods, and is like, yeah, go for it, and just hops in and starts. I don't even remember what he was singing, but he like started singing some song, and like I think eventually we realized that chat couldn't hear it, only Jamie could hear it, but it was very fun.
All I heard as I'm like focusing, like I didn't hear him hop in. I just hear near, far,
Right.
wherever you are. I'm like, oh, what is happening? Yeah, that was an experience. I'm happy that I got to hear the behind the scenes of that happening.
Yeah, it was pretty much. He thought he was going to be singing to the stream,
Oh,
so
would've
that
been
was
so
the
good.
intention.
Oh well, next time we'll make sure it's set up properly.
Right.
Sorry, Jackson.
Oh,
You
that
can
is so
properly
good.
ruin your segments.
He hopped in later again too, and another time it was like a different day. He hopped in and gave us another serenade.
Yes. Yeah.
It was
That's
very
great.
good.
I love that. Well, I'm out of questions, personally. If
Me as well.
you want to wrap us up here, Monica, bring us out.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Maeve and Jamie, for joining us on
Yeah.
our hub episode. And
Woo.
I guess, yeah, effectively a recap of Zeldathon Ascent as well. Thank you so much to Danny Music for writing our intro and outro music that the podcast listeners
Beautiful.
will hear. It's just, oh, I love it. Every time I listen to it back, it's so good. Thank you to all of the hub hosts. It
Yeah.
means so much that all of you stepped up and were willing to do that and open up to your homes to a bunch of different team members to make sure the marathon still happened. Thank you, everyone. It was just incredible to see it come together. And as always, remember, it's never too late to be a first-time donor.
Yeah.
So